All right. What else? What else we got going on? Got about 13 minutes. Yeah,
I got a
Miles.
question.
Right.
I got a question, Tanya. I'm about to actually be signing my first listing contract today, so I'm very excited about it.
Congratulations.
Thanks, I really appreciate it. This is my first day as a business broker, so thank you for making time and providing this forum. So I did have a question. As I had my kind of preliminary listing meeting with this client, we had some questions as to keep it simple, the trademark or the logo for his business was designed by the owner's brother, so it has a bit of sentimental value. Do things like that always have to be part of the deal, or is it kind of relative to whether a potential buyer even cares to use those? Because I'm not sure that somebody doesn't want to buy this company that I'm going to be listing and just change the name that they're going to be operating under. So do you have any kind of insight onto that?
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, all assets that are used by the business are transferred, but you're talking about a contract, and in contract law, everything is negotiable. So whatever is in the contract is how things go. So it's all negotiable. And one way you can do it, if the buyer does want to continue using the name of the business and the logo and all that, but the seller wants to retain the right to do it in the future elsewhere, right? Because one of the things that can be agreed upon between the parties is that the buyer will have a license to use, that the seller will retain the intellectual property, the trademark, that'll continue to be owned by the seller, but that the buyer will have an irrevocable right to use that license as long as they're in that specific location. So, I mean, there's things that can be done. But it's all negotiable. And if the buyer doesn't care, because you're right, I don't know what kind of business this is, but I see a lot of restaurants where maybe it was a Thai restaurant and then somebody comes in and wants to change it to an Indian restaurant. They don't want the name, because the name doesn't make sense for Indian food, right? So everything changes, and they just couldn't care less. All they want is the location and maybe the furniture, fixtures, equipment, the kitchen, all that. Okay. All right. Hopefully that answered the question. What type of business is it anyways?
It is a cannabis business, obviously.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You said cannabis. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Specialized. Yeah. Yeah. So if they don't want the name, they may have their own name. The buyer, you may end up having a buyer who is already in the industry and is just looking to expand their geographical footprint or their market share and is going to rebrand anyways. So yeah, I would definitely just, the one thing you have to be cognizant of though, is to make sure that you expressly exclude it from the transaction, meaning that at the point in time where you get down to somebody's putting together an LOI or a purchase agreement, it needs to be listed on a schedule of excluded assets. Okay, so the logo, the trademark is expressly excluded from the contract. Okay.
In that case, does it actually have to be formally trademarked to actually be deemed an asset? Because I don't know that this is actually formally trademarked.
No, I mean, you can have a trademark that's not registered, but
Okay.
It's still a trademark. It's just not registered, and it's hard to, it makes it harder to defend if you never registered it as a trademark. It makes it harder to defend against other people copying it or using it.